Yeah, it shows now. Okay, now it shows recording and live on Facebook. So it's back to normal on my end.
All right, so we're live in the group now, which is good. Um, so sorry guys for the delay. We're about 10 minutes later than normal for this show because we had some technical stuff. Looks like Facebook has changed some stuff. Looks like Zoom has changed some stuff, and so it threw us off, and I didn't know how to actually get logged on. So anyway, welcome to the show, everyone. This is the Creative Crypto Show. We're going to talk crypto for a few minutes and current state of the market and some news, and I got some some of my opinion and all of that built in. So that's what we're going to talk about. So let's see, we lost Danny in the process. We had people joining us here, and we had to actually restart and shut down and log back on and all that stuff. So maybe Danny will hop back on. Anyway, those of you that are watching this, if you're watching this from the Facebook group and you want to actually join this Zoom call and participate with us, just click the link above the broadcast here, and you can hop on the Zoom with us. If you want to drop us a comment or a like from there, that's fine as well. If you're watching this on YouTube and you want to participate in future shows, then just click the link in the YouTube description. That'll bring you into our group, our community. If you like the content that you hear on these shows, then you'll like the stuff that we post and talk about in the group. So there we go. Danny is here now, so welcome. Before we actually dive into everything, we're going to talk some good news like we start every show off with. So Jessica, how about you? You want to go first? What's some good news in your life right now? I can see some good news if I was like, there's a little one there, so that's always fun. What's some good news?
Hey. Of course, Nora is good news, but I also got a good whole night's sleep last night, so not bad for a newborn.
Nice, very cool. I didn't have my first full night's sleep with mine for a minute. It was a bit. I was walking around zombified for weeks, it seemed like. So yeah. All right, how about you, Danny? What's some good news? You are muted, by the way.
Okay, great. So good news. I'm working on a challenge, and I completed almost 1/3 of it. So I'm very proud of myself, to say the least. So I'm working on a great wealth abundance, and that's the first step.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool. Challenges are always fun. They encourage like engagement and participation, and usually end up kind of softly forcing us into doing something that we wouldn't otherwise do, simply because there's other people doing it and it's in a structured format and all that stuff. So I like challenges myself. So I leverage them to get things done in my own life. So my good news, what's my good news for the day? I've been up for quite a while. It's been a very productive day already, despite the technical difficulties. I've had a few calls already for the day, and had a great conversation with my daughter before school, and so it's just been a good productive day. And I'm excited about what's on my list here on my whiteboard, about what's on my list of what's left for today. So stuff that I enjoy working on, so that's always good. Let's dive in to crypto markets. If I can share my screen. You guys can still hear me, right? You just gotta.
Yes.
Your internet is
Yeah, and I can see your screen too.
All right.
Yes.
All right. So here we are at CoinMarketCap. Let's see what's going on in the world of crypto. Let me hit refresh. The crypto market cap, total market cap, is 411 billion. Last time we checked, it was 386. So 411 is a nice little jump. Over 400 billion is a good place to be. We've been there in the last week or so, but prior to that, we had went away from it. We dipped underneath it, and it had been quite a while. since we had seen it. So 400 billion is a nice little milestone to hit. 24-hour volume is 28 billion. Last time we checked, happened to be on a day that we had a really high 24-hour volume. So it was up to like 40 billion for that day, which was interesting. The total number of cryptocurrencies, we've just crossed 1,600. There's now 1,601 cryptos. So last time we checked, there was 1,591. So we've added about 11. 1,601 to the list. Bitcoin dominance is continuing to go down a little bit, which is not uncommon because the market cap is going up. You know, I never really expected it to get more than that 45%. I don't see it hitting 50% Bitcoin dominance probably ever again. I could be totally wrong on that. By the way, anything that I say here is not financial advice. I'm just telling you what I do and kind of my opinion on this stuff. So take that for what it's worth or what it's worth. So Bitcoin dominance now is 37.1%. Last time it was 39.1. So getting a little bit of a drop there. Let's see what else is going on. If we just look at the market as a whole, just scroll through here, you'll notice there's a lot of red. So today is what we would call a red day. We've got a little pullback going on. So let me change the 24-hour view, and you see that there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 coins total of the 1,601 that are in the green. All of the other coins are down today. Some of the ones that are up, basic attention token, one of my favorite ones. Verge is up, Bitcoin Private is up the highest in the last 24 hours, up 23%. So biggest losers for the day, not too bad, only 10%. On an all red day, I like to pay attention to the ones, how big was the biggest loser, right? How big of a loss actually was it? 10%, that's not bad. It's those days when you see like the biggest one lost 50 or 60% in a day. What that usually trickles down to is you see there's a lot more, you know, more that lost 40, and then there's some that lost 30, and then there's some that lost 20, and then 10. And I like it when there's only a handful that have lost 10% in a 24-hour period. That's a pretty, in my world, that's a pretty stable kind of pullback. That's not anything that's completely out of the ordinary. So same thing for gains as well. You know, we're looking for slow and steady growth, and part of slow and steady growth is you have, you know, consistent pullbacks. You know, you grow a little bit, it pulls back, resets, develops a new floor, grows a little bit more. So that's just kind of the way this game works. So Bitcoin's sitting at 8,900, so fluctuating around that 9,000 price point for the last little bit. Ethereum 650. Ripple is 82 cents. EOS is at 1724. EOS has been on a real tear lately. There's only one coin. Actually, EOS is only one of the only coins that has surpassed. If you know, back in December, January, we had the all-time high for Bitcoin, and most all of the other coins were also at their all-time high during that period. Well, we know what happened from December till now, or till February, or actually, you know, March or beginning of April. We've been on that we had that large slam down, that decline. All of the other coins have still not recovered to surpass their all-time high, except EOS. EOS has, as you can see, just been on a really big tear for the last couple of weeks. If we look at the 7-day chart, you can see that it's just tremendous growth. You know, it was $13 just last week, peaked just a couple of days ago, $22. Look at the 1 month. Again, just been on a tear. I mean, been on an absolute tear since the beginning of April. It was down at $5.69, and just a day or so ago, there's $22. So all of you that are EOS holders, that is good. EOS, in my opinion, will continue to go up as they roll out the product, because interesting thing about EOS, number 5 coin, and there's no working product in existence yet, which is very interesting. However, I've talked about EOS before. They have in terms of funding and the money that they've raised and the talent that is there. When you combine these things together, these guys have the financial backing to basically buy any of these coins that they wanted to, if they wanted to support and or buy. So they've got a lot of leverage in the terms in the realm of financial backing and capital. So it's always a plus. It's always a good thing. The talent behind EOS they're a really talented team, really creative and innovative thinkers behind that particular coin. So one of my favorites. And this past week it's done really well. So that's kind of what's going on crypto market cap or coin market cap. Let's take a look here in the group. I posted a couple of different things. The first one I want to talk about is this one right here. So this is a list. See if I can make this bigger. This is a list. The picture didn't get any bigger, but let's go do this. Bam. No, that didn't help either. All right, so if you would have invested $100 January 1st, 2017 into any of these coins, this is what it would have been worth in, I'm sorry, this is the price into January 1st. This is the price January 1st, 2018. So here is the percentage, the gain or the loss that you would have incurred. So this is, remember, $100. If you invested $100 and held it over the course of a year, if you'd have done that, put $100 in Bitcoin, you'd have been up $1,422. That's how much you would have made. You'd have put that $100 into Ripple, you'd have been up $34,000. Ethereum, you'd have been up $9,000. Bitcoin Cash, that didn't come out. It wasn't available January 1st. It didn't come out until August. But if the day that it came out, if you would have put it into there, you'd have been up $1,142, over $1,000. Cardano, you've been up $7,000. Litecoin, you'd have been up $5,000. Let's see, IOTA, which came out in June, you'd have been up just a little bit. Well, actually, you would have been down in IOTA. You'd have had less than $100 there. NEM, $35,000. Stellar, up $19,000. So pretty significant gains here. Not all of them. So Bitcoin Gold, you'd have lost, half your money. So not all of them. But here's the point I'm wanting to make. As you can see, I mean, this one right here, Roblox, which came out in March, $319,000 from $100 investment, because in January 2017, the price for one Roblox token was 0.009 cents. So just a little bit, January 2018, 1 year later, the price for one token was $28.76. So from far less than a tenth of a penny to over $28 at $100 made you $319,000. So here's my point that I'm getting at. These are kind of all over the board, and this is not even all of them. This isn't even close to all of them. The point I'm making is there's a bunch of coins that if you would have just put $100 in, you'd have been on top. That's why that strategy is good. Just looking at this in terms of a year investment. Even if you just looked 1 year, put $100. I would rather, I've said it before, I'd rather, if you've got $1,000 to invest, I'd rather you take, a little bit of that and put it into a lot of different coins, rather than taking the whole $1,000 and putting it on one. The reason, because the technology that blockchain is bringing to the table, that a lot of these different companies are solving, like there's a lot of room here for a lot more companies and a lot more talent to actually get involved. And so it's there's a lot of opportunity here, and just going all in on one particular coin is not necessarily, in my opinion, the best move to make. It's better to spread it out, because even if it's $100, you might, I mean, people put $100 into Roblox. Do you really think they expected to have that turn into $300,000+? Answer is no, but we never, I mean, that's the game that we're in. It could happen, absolutely. And if you put $100 into 10 coins, one of them did that and the rest of them lost your $100, would you be mad? No, I wouldn't, because that $10, putting $100 into 10 coins, only one of them's got to hit. If it hit a tenth of what this did, then you'd still be very much so in the positive. And so the point that I'm making here is just to illustrate a point of the massive amounts of opportunity that we have here. It's not about one coin. It's about diversifying, just getting in the game, spreading some money out, and putting it on all these different ones. Now, don't just blindly put your money, invest into these coins. Don't also invest into these coins because you saw somebody tweet about it, or you saw a YouTube video of somebody talking about it. Because guess what? People make YouTube videos and talk about coins that are complete scam coins, but they make a commission on it if you buy. People get paid to tweet about certain coins. Their promotion, they're paid to actually do that. So my point is, if you're like, this is the strategy. This illustrates the soundness of my strategy of kind of putting, just getting into the game and diversifying your investment in crypto. But at the same time, don't just put money in blind. Read the white paper, read the website, look at what coin you're investing in. Ask the 4 questions that I've talked about asking. What is the problem this coin or company is solving? Is it a big problem that applies to the masses? If so, that's a good thing. You're likely to see a lot of adapt. If it kicks off and people start really going at that, using that particular coin or company, then that could be a lot of people. So what's the problem? Is it a really big problem that applies to everybody? Who's the talent involved? And what does my gut say? Can I pull it off? Do I think they can pull it off? So just looking at those basic things will give you a huge advantage over everybody else in terms of where do you put your money. But you know what? You don't have to be a genius to make money from this and to profit from it and to really have a nice come up. It's just a matter of getting in the game, and any one of these coins could do it. And there's going to be dozens and dozens more that happen from January 1st this year to January 1st next year. Today's May 1st, 2018. There's going to be dozens more of these type of scenarios from May 1st, 2018 to May 1st, 2019. So today you could get in, tomorrow you could get in. The point I'm making here is we still have a massive opportunity. I hear people talking, like they've missed out, or the train's left the station. Like it's not yet, right? Like there's still plenty of opportunity here. And so this is a great time to be involved in crypto. It's an exciting time. So I just wanted to share that. Let's see, what else do we have? In terms of news, I think that's pretty much, I don't really have a lot of news. The bond market is still, it's been selling off. I mentioned this on the last call. The pullbacks are good. So we're kind of going flat a little bit right now. We after a pullback. So I do see, I do anticipate another upward move here pretty soon in terms of Bitcoin. And then as we know that most of the other altcoins are attached to Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin goes up, we can expect the others to go up as well. So today is a great day. If we look at CoinMarketCap, pick out your favorite coins, which ones are down. Today's a red day. Buying the dip is always a good thing. So today would be a good day to actually buy some coins. So there's that. There are 2 banks, and I don't have direct articles to this. Maybe I'll look for them and post them here in the group a little bit later. But lots and lots and lots of banks all over the world are completely just shutting down and or scheduling their shutdown. They're not announcing, but they're scheduling. Like they're already planning, they're already liquidating, they're already doing stuff, and it's in motion. There are banks that are literally closing their doors every day. Two banks, one in Ireland, I believe Ulster Bank, and then TSP Bank. All of a sudden, just less than a week ago, both of them, one's in UK, one's in Ireland, mysteriously they're unable to give anybody money. You go in, you try to get some money, they're like, I'm sorry, we can't give you any money, we don't have it right now. That's literally what is happening. Like I said, one in Ireland, one in the UK, and we have no idea how long those are going to remain. So just imagine this, like we all have bank accounts here. Like what if you tried to go make a withdrawal today and that's what they told you? I'm sorry, you can't get your money because we don't have it. or you can't get your money for whatever reason. But like, think about this. Like, this stuff is really happening. This isn't one day in the the far off future when we decide to change this monetary system that we have. Like, it's happening now, right in front of all of our faces. And so Deutsche Bank, and I posted on this a couple of weeks ago, Deutsche Bank is getting downgraded this month. The downgrade watch, the negative watch that is put on them last month, it was put on them last month, and I posted this article in the group last month. So that watch, like, they don't put that type of a negative watch on a bank like Deutsche Bank unless they're planning on downgrading. So Deutsche Bank is going to be downgraded, their basic overall score, which that's going to trigger, and that's happening this month. Their earnings are down. They're firing people and letting people go left and right. CEOs, high ups in the company, like the bank is collapsing is what is happening. And when they get downgraded, that's going to trigger so much in the realm of derivatives, because they have the largest derivative book in the entire world. You could gather up every dollar, every piece of currency in the world, and it wouldn't even come close to paying off the derivative book just of that bank. So it's impossible for them to get out of this. So whenever people start calling in these derivatives and like that stuff, why am I blowing up on Messenger? I have no idea why people keep sending me all these messages. Okay, so that's what's happening. Like that. What we can see now. Here's what happened. They get downgraded in May. That won't be an overnight thing. So it's going to take a couple of months before we start to really see the impact of that. So we're talking late June, early July, when we're going to first start seeing the impact trickle down of Deutsche Bank really starting to fall apart. And like, when that happens, so July, August, that kind of time frame is just my prediction here, nothing more. That time frame is when we're going to see a very similar situation as to something that happened like in 2008. You're going to see it on headlines. You're going to see banks literally closing the doors, locking up. I mean, in 2008 there was bailouts, so we'll see kind of what kind of creativeness happens this go around. But we're going through the beginning of the financial collapse right now. I mean, it's not the beginning of it. It's been happening for a long time. It's been planned for a long time. This is kind of the home stretch, if you will. So, Economist Magazine. I want to show you this really quick first. Economist Magazine cover 1988. Let's look at this. So if we look at the Economist Magazine, this is 1988. All right, this is the cover of Economist Magazine. Let's blow this up. Here's what this says. Let's make this. Okay, we can make this bigger. So what does this say? Get ready for a world currency. It's got a little gold coin here. What's the year on this? And what's this image representing? This eagle, this what is this? A phoenix, a falcon? I have no idea. This bird is sitting on a pile of burning cash. And it has a gold coin. It looks kind of like the Bitcoin logo. And the year on it says 2018. This is a phoenix, by the way. It actually says phoenix, which is crazy because I'm actually going to have a phoenix tattoo. I don't know why I didn't know that. I didn't know it. Anyway, and the title says, get ready for a world currency. So this has been in the works. Now this has got a little bit of coincidental conspiracy stuff tied to it. I don't think that's conspiracy. I think there's a lot that goes into this this opinion that you're hearing, but that's what we're seeing. Like, that is exactly what we're seeing. This is the year that all of this work comes to fruition, and we start seeing the real changes in the effects. And so what does that mean for us in the crypto world? Massive opportunity, massive opportunity right in front of all of us. And so that's kind of why we're here and what's going on. It's important that we pay attention to these type of things and and what's happening with the dollar, what's happening with the banks, what's happening in the world, because knowing those things, being able to see these dominoes fall allow us to predict the future 2, 3, 5 months in advance, a year in advance. And when you can do that, it's really easy to create wealth. Really, really easy, because you know what's coming and you can just make the moves based on that. And it's not hard to predict. I mean, it's like we have a period of time. It's just about opening your eyes, paying attention to what's going on, as well as in some cases developing some new beliefs, because a lot of us are seeing what's going on, but there's old belief patterns that are, for whatever reason, preventing us from taking advantage, whether it's we don't believe we should have the wealth, or subconsciously, or whether we believe that there's no real possible way the system could actually fail. Like the government wouldn't let that happen, the banks wouldn't let like that. That's unimaginable for a lot of people. And so that's fine. I had all of those beliefs at one point, and you gotta break out of that box. You gotta challenge those beliefs. You gotta be open to the idea that maybe things are not the way that I've thought they were. You got to be open to that. That's step one. Because if you're not going to take the action. You can see this stuff all day long, and you'll never do anything because of a belief. So don't get held back by a belief. So I talked about the returns for that $100 could have brought. Let's see what else we got. So let's see. We're going a little bit long already. So I won't go too much longer. There's more stuff that I'll talk about tomorrow, like Google. Like there's so much stuff, like Google, companies like Google, SpaceX, Tesla, Facebook, Twitter, all of these companies that today, when we look at them, think they're so strong, there's no possible way they could go away. I'm here to tell you, there's a very good chance that all of those that I just listed could go away in the next couple of years. Maybe sooner, which is hard for a lot of people to grasp, but it's just about seeing what's going on. It's just about looking at what's actually happening in anticipation. So I'll talk more about that tomorrow. But blockchain, one thing that I do want to I'll end it with this. Blockchain, what blockchain is bringing to the table is an opportunity for us to choose. It's a choice to us, because here's where we're going. And we're going to have one of two options. Blockchain can equal freedom, like true freedom for all of us going forward, or blockchain could also equal dictatorship, tyranny, complete control over us, because here's a difference. A centralized blockchain versus a decentralized blockchain. And there will be blockchain behind everything. I'm like, if you're not convinced of that yet, you will be, because it's going to happen. It's happening. The internet will be everywhere. The blockchain will be everywhere. Like that's where we're going. There's going to be a big difference. There will be centralized blockchains and decentralized blockchains, and we have a choice. One of them equals freedom. One of them equals dictatorship. Centralized blockchain stuff is dictatorship. So we have to kind of, as a whole, shift our whole mentality and mindset about this, because I see a lot of people after the recent, a lot of people are just about the money and the profit and that part of the opportunity, but it's more than that. It's deeper than that. It's control. It's freedom. It's the creative expression, the ability to have true creative freedom for ourselves in the future. That's what blockchain gives us the opportunity to do. But we have to stand up to the centralized blockchains. Whenever somebody comes out with this great, easy, push button, simplified, pretty blockchain that makes your life easier, we got to be able to recognize and step back and say, oh, that's nice. I love the idea, but that's centralized. No thanks. I'm good on centralized. I don't want I'm not putting time, energy, effort, and money into anything else that is controlled by an individual third party. I want my stuff on a decentralized blockchain that I know when I'm making a transaction with someone else, or they're making a transaction with me, that it's fully trusted, it's uncompromisable, it can't be changed, can't be deleted. When we create this moment, it's there in history and completely unalterable forever. that's how I want to do business and live my life. Everything that I do, I want to be on that type of a decentralized blockchain, not centralized. So we as people got to just be aware of that, and notice and see that whenever it happens, and just make the choice. So after this recent slam that we've seen since December, we're now seeing more regulation put on investing in ICOs. They're coming out and saying, okay, they're making it harder, which I talked about this a month ago. When the slam ends and it starts backwards on an upward trend, watch for more regulation in the form of accredited investor. They're now coming out and saying this, all ICOs, not all, but they're like, this is what we're seeing. ICOs are securities. So in order to invest in this, you got to be an accredited investor, or you got to live in a certain thing. This is exactly what we're seeing. And so it's eliminating the opportunity for people as more regulation comes on. And so that's another reason to get involved now while the regulation is not on everything. So there's that. My thought and advice, and I'll wrap it up with this final thing, is get in while you can and just hodl. Just hold. Just hold on to it for a while. Get in where you can. You don't have to have a massive amount of money to put in. Put a little bit in each week as you can. Put $100 in here, $10 in there. Do what you can, and then just hold it and spread it out among the cryptos. Gold's going to go up. Silver's going to go up. Silver's probably going to go up more than gold. Silver has, there's different reasons for that, but I'm still buying all of the above: gold, silver, and cryptos. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up on that. So let me stop sharing my screen. That's all I got. Jessica, Danny, any closing thoughts? Any thoughts, comments, feedback from what I just said?
Well, I wish there were more people hearing this. So that's really interesting and terribly intimidating and scared, where I came from. And I feel like it's going to hit some kind of recession,
So, I mean, there's a lot of, ultimately, there's a lot of, like, you think of like bank collapse, right? Like banks literally closing their doors. That is kind of a scary thing. And it can be a scary thing, but what's even more scarier is that happening and blindsiding people, them being completely unaware. Like, I know, and that sucks. I'm like, I don't want to go into my bank tomorrow or next week and them say, I'm sorry, we can't, like, you can't get your money. I mean, that's happened to an extent already. Like, you go and ask for large amounts of cash, they don't have it. Like $20,000 plus, you got like a 1 in 10 shot to walk into a bank and them actually give you $20,000 bucks out of it. I mean,
well, even now, even not in cash, I know in a local bank, if you deposit, I think it's more than $2,000, which in the scheme of money is not a lot, you have to wait 4 or 5 days before it's available in your account. I mean, so it's not even cash money. You don't even have access to the funds, period, for so many days.
Yep, exactly. And so like this, knowing that it is a real possibility, how can I, play my cards to that hand? Like how can I benefit from that or not? Like, well, the answer is don't put all of my freaking money in cash. Like I'm never gonna have all of my money in cash because I know that's where it's going. And so but where does the money go? And I just put it into these different places that I've been talking about. So yeah, it can definitely be a scary thing. I mean, that's one of the reasons that we're starting to put this show on YouTube and get it out there. Hopefully more people will hear it. And as time goes on, more people will get involved. I mean, it's just a matter of us talking about it and just, getting the word out. And so, yeah, I feel in a year from now, in 2 years from now, when we're still talking about, there will still be people getting involved. We're just here early. So that's kind of what's going on. So we'll go ahead and wrap up. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thanks everybody for watching, whether you're watching in the group on Facebook or on YouTube, wherever. We appreciate you, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye. Take care.